Hello, everybody. Devon Devon here. I'm super excited to have everybody on today. I'm doing something a little different today. I'm going to have some special guests. We're going to be going international. I have a couple of different friends from a couple of different parts of the country, and we're going to have some fun today. Once you get here, make sure you say hey so I know that you're here. Comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I'm excited to get started. So before we start, I do have an important question that I have to ask you, just like every show. Can we talk? So, before we get started and before I bring my guests on, I want to say hey to a couple of you. Some of you have come as you come in. You said hey. Hello, Mark. How are you? Jawan, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. Eric, how are you doing as well? And Miss Tracy, want to say hey to you as well. Love you, Miss Tracy. That's like my second mama. Yuli's on here. Some of the people who that you're going to be seeing are familiar with her as well. So Yuli's up here. This is her first time being up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. But anyway, I'm gonna get right into joining our guests. We've had a couple other people say hey as well, but I'm gonna get right into introducing our guests. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on. And so these are the people that I'm bringing on today. This is Miss Tiffany, this is Emily, and this is Ken. Everybody say hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
So, like I said, today we're going to be doing something a little different. I wanted to bring them on because each and every one of them are from a different part of the country or a different part of the world. Tiffany, she is Dominican. Hey,
Yes.
Chanel, how are you? How are you doing? And also, Roche is saying hi as well. And let's see. So, we're going to take those down. And Miss Tracy is also
Hey.
saying, hey, lovely people. So, she's saying hey to everybody as well. Okay. So we're gonna take those down and we're gonna get into today's episode. But keep commenting, keep sharing, keep also, stay in the comment section as well. So the reason that I have my guests on here today is because each of them, like I said, are from a different part of the country. And personally, I feel like it's important that we don't just know about our own culture, but we learn about other cultures as well. So Miss Tiffany, she is actually Dominican, so from Dominican Republic. Miss Emily, she is Peruvian, so from Peru. And Mr. King, he is from Korea. No, Vietnam.
No.
I'm so sorry. He is from Vietnam. Now,
Yes.
before we even get started, y'all already know I can't say names. Oof, I'm bad with English names, so let alone these are gonna be a different blot, of different languages going on. So this is gonna be a mess, but we're gonna work through it together. I want it, like I said, we're here to kind of have some fun. We're here to learn about each other's different cultures and kind of get to know about each other in the process. So what we're going to be doing is it's a game that I've come up with. It's a game called Melting Pot. So basically, I have
Mm.
my contestants up here. I have done some research about all of their cultures, and I've come up with some questions. So they're each going to get the chance to answer two questions. If they tie, we have some extra questions as well. And we're gonna see who knows the most about each other's country, who knows most about each other's culture. If they get their own, then hey, they should do great. They shouldn't have a problem. If they get somebody else's, this could get interesting. And I'm gonna be honest with you. As I said before, y'all bear with me. My contestants, feel free to correct me if I said something wrong, because more than likely, I'm about to tear these names up. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm about to destroy these names, especially King. And I'm not even picking on you. It's just this is about to be different. Because the
Yeah.
conversation we had the other day, you straight up told me that there's what two different languages, but then there's a bunch of different.
Like
There's a bunch of different. Go ahead.
the two system of languages, I would say, because in Vietnam, we have a history of 4,000 years, 1,000 years of which we were dominated by China.
Mm,
So it's kind of like we have two systems, like the pure Vietnamese, like the Vietnamese thing, and
mm,
the other one is the Chinese Vietnamese, and we Vietnamese have to know, like, to combine between the two systems, like to switch from one to another, or even combine them.
So y'all got a lot going on, and that's gonna make it even worse when I try to say these names. But
Yep.
still, we're just here to have some fun, here to enjoy each other. So that's what we're about to do. So, as I said, they're each going to get a chance to answer two questions. I'm going to be, keeping points, but at the end of the day, that's not what we're really here. Speaking of which, it helps if I, have something to be able to keep points with. I'm over here talking like I'm about to do something that I'm not ready to do. Anyway, so I'm going to be keeping track of points to see who wins. As far as what my winner gets, yeah, don't really have too many prizes, but they get to say they won the third episode of Can We Talk?
Bragging
So,
I'm
rights, bragging
excited.
rights.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna start with Miss Tiffany. So how this is gonna work? You get to pick a number 1 through 10. Each number is related to a question, and like I said, you get to answer, and we'll get to see how this goes. So, and let me say this as well: if I keep bouncing back and forth from where my eyesight is, I got 50 million different screens going on. So work with me. But anyway, don't want to hold us too long. So Tiffany, pick a number 1 through 10.
Let me get 5.
5. Okay. Okay. So, Miss Tiffany, so your question is, your question is, Pisco Sour, and I probably destroyed that, is the national drink of, and you should know this one, and I'm going to give you an A and a B. Is it the national drink of the Dominican Republic or Peru?
Oof, I know I've never heard that in DR, so I'm gonna say that's Peru.
Peru.
Hey.
Awesome job. That
I'm
you
like,
are
that's not my
correct.
people.
And Devon, you did say it right. You did say it right. So
I
you
said it
did.
right.
Yeah, you did.
I'm proud of myself because, like I said, I was a little scared, but okay. Okay, so Miss Tiffany, you have a point. Okay, so awesome job there. So next, I'm going to go to Miss Emily. So pick a number 1 through 10, and we'll see what question you get.
I'll do number 2.
Okay, number 2, and let's see. Okay, what is the Dominican Republic currency? Is it the peso or the ruble? A is peso, B is the ruble.
I think it's B.
B, the ruble. That's your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is not. The correct answer is going to
No.
be the peso. So Miss Tiffany's
That's
ahead
good.
right now. Let's see. So Miss Tiffany has 1 point, but once again, this is the reason why we're doing this. Because to be honest with you, before I did this research, I didn't know either, so I'm not mad at you. Um, okay, Ken. So the next question is yours. So pick a number 1 through 10.
I'll go for a 7.
7. Okay.
I was
And
born
okay.
July though.
Hmm.
I was born July, so that's why number 7.
Okay. I'm not mad at you. Okay. So your question is, what is votive paper? I might be saying that
Vote.
wrong. It's spelled Votive.
Okay, so I literally, like, honestly, I have no idea what it is. Like, this is my first time hearing about it. I'm sorry, guys. Like, it's like no offensive, but this is my first time hearing about it.
You know what's sad? Guess where I found that? Where that's associated with
Like,
Vietnam. So
I was
what
like,
I
that's not Dominican either.
that
For
part because
sure.
both of
Yeah, I
y'all
was
look real
like,
confused. They were
I
like, "It's
really
not
don't
me."
know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Both of y'all was like, "It's not me." But
so
okay.
it's like,
So
is it
go ahead.
related to Vietnam? Associated with Vietnam?
Yeah, so from what I looked up, it's associated with Vietnam because what it is well, actually, my bad. I'm gonna give you another chance. I'm gonna give you two answers. I'm gonna give you A and B because I didn't do that right. So
What's the
A,
question again? What
okay,
was
the
the
question
question again?
is, what is votive paper? And like I said, I'm probably destroying that.
Uh,
Um,
can you spell it?
Votive.
VOTI.
I'm at counting. So,
What?
but let me give you your options. So A,
VOTI.
paper burnt to scare off spirits. B,
Ooh.
paper burnt as an offering to ancestors. Or C, the paper in fortune cookies.
Oh, okay. So I don't know the word in English, but I can figure out like what it's like. I guess B. If it's correct, then I can explain what it is.
Okay, that is awesome. That is correct. B. So give us a little bit of what because I had never heard of it until I did. Like I said.
Okay, so I don't know the word in English, what it's called in English, but it's like a ritual when somebody like your ancestor they already passed away, and they have some kind of paper like paper clothes, paper house, and paper money.
Hmm.
Then you burn it, but like burn all of them on some certain days, like on occasion of holidays, especially
Hold on,
the Lunar
hold on.
New Year.
Y'all burning money?
I mean the paper money, not
Oh, okay.
actual
I was
money.
about to be
Oh,
able to
Yeah,
I was
feel
like, they
it.
fancy. Whoa,
like
burning
they
it.
make it
I'll come over.
they make it like they try to make it like look as much the same as the actual ones, but
Hmm.
it's actually like paper house, paper clothes, paper cars, paper money. So
Okay.
they burn it, and they believe that the those who like the ancestor, those who already passed away, will receive it like actual property, like actual thing, or in the other world, because after we die, we still believe that there is another world, like the afterlife world, and we still continue
Mhm.
to live in the afterlife world. And actually, it's kind of like uh, a cultural thing or a ritual, but I mean, it's some kind of religious thing because I am a Buddhist, so I kind of like experience a lot of things uh, about another world, not just the real world we're living on.
Okay.
So
It looks like Tevin McKenzie wants to chime in. He said they send it to the afterlife. Okay.
yes,
Okay. Okay. I when you said burning money, that I almost had a heart
I
attack. But
was,
I'm for it.
yeah.
I'm like, if it's monopoly money, that's a different situation. But I was like, wait a minute. But hey, okay, I'm here for it. So okay. So next round, we started with Miss Tiffany. So I'm gonna go back to Tiffany. Pick a number.
So, I'm gonna just leapfrog off a king. I said 5 because I was born in May. So, 10 for that birthday. Thank you.
Okay. So going with number 10. The question is, what is the official religion of Vietnam? A. Christianity. B. Buddhism. C. None.
Buddhism.
That's your final answer.
Yes.
Okay. So that is incorrect, and this one I actually got from King directly because I was going through my brain trying to find facts, and he actually gave me this one directly. According to him, Vietnam does not have a national religion. It's just does not have a national religion, so technically none. Would that be correct, King?
yes. So if I'm not mistaken, America, I mean the USA is like based on Christianity. Uh,
Yeah.
like yeah, most of you guys believe in God. But in Vietnam, like we don't have a national like official religion. The two most popular ones are Buddhism and Christianity. Christianity. But like there are still a lot more different religions existing in Vietnam right now. So people can choose to follow one or another. But technically speaking, we don't have like um, a
A
national religion.
national religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
as
So what
far
that
as
sounds like
the
was a trick question, A, and B, I should get a half point because I was almost there. But okay, we'll play it fair.
You know
That
what?
sounds
You
like
know
a
what?
what's the national religion? They ain't got one. You
But see, that's the
cheater.
thing. That's why you got to listen to the word. I said, what's the national? Buddhism and Christianity, they're in there, but nationally, it's none. But you know
Keenan's the
what?
first Vietnamese person I've ever met, and he said he was Buddhist. So I was just going with what I knew
Okay,
to be
you know
true.
what?
Right.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be fair. You get a half a point. I'm gonna be
Thank
fair.
you.
You get a half a point. Okay, because you're right. That was a little bit of a trick question, but you know what?
It was.
I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice because you did pick Buddhism, and that is, you were going off of the information you knew. So I'm gonna work with you.
Thanks.
Okay. So next, going to Miss Emily. Pick a number.
8.
8. Okay. Number 8. What do people do at the pagoda? And I think I said that right. Pagoda. A. Pray for forgiveness. B. Pray for wealth. Or C. Pray for peace, health, and happiness.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with C.
See? Okay. Awesome job, Miss Emily. Emily, that is correct.
Yay!
I at first I'll be on. I've heard of a pagoda, but until I really did this, I didn't really know. You know, I didn't really know what a pagoda was. But I think that's a Viet in the Vietnamese culture as well. What is that Buddhism, King, or am I wrong? Is that Buddhism? Buddhism? Or
Yeah, you can understand it as Buddhism.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like from my understanding, what I got from it is where they kind of go and pray to their ancestors for. And I think is that where they do the paper where they burn the paper and stuff. I'm probably just going off.
They
I'm sorry.
pray for. Okay, so as far as the pagoda, I would say like they pray for. So they pray in front of the statue of the Buddha, and they
Mhm.
can pray like health, happiness, or anything like any good thing they want.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Shoot, I wish my ancestors, let me hush. Anyway, so next is Keen, and I think you just muted yourself.
Yeah. Okay. But
Okay, so next is you. Pick a number.
number one.
You said one?
Yeah.
Okay. So number one. Okay. What are moringa and bachata forms of? A. Music. B. Cuisine.
Hold on. Okay, so it's gonna be a random guess. Uh, let's go for cuisine.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is not correct. It is actually going to be a form of Dominican music. It is. Do you know about the bachata and moringa, Tiffany? Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
bachata and
She
merengue.
looked at
Don't
me
play
like
me.
I
That's
just
the
cussed
music
at
of my
her. I do
people,
apologize.
and I will play some for you guys tomorrow. We're gonna get up to speed with the bachata and the merengue. I've been lacking in
Hey,
my
you
macking.
gotta
I
show them
got you.
the 1-2, Tiff. You gotta show them the 1-2.
I'm gonna have to do
I
the
need a one.
bust the move and everything. Y'all gonna learn tomorrow.
Yes.
You gonna teach us a 1-2 step right quick?
It's a 1, 2, 3, but yeah, we're gonna get it down tomorrow.
I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. My bad. Let me get my numbers together. Okay, so that is actually a form of Dominican music, which Tiffany, I am consistently, and Ebony says, hold on a second. She said, I love me
Snaps for
some
Ebony.
bachata.
Snaps for Ebony.
Hey.
Okay, she's the one who originally got me into not then Yuli said soundbar takeover. I'm done with y'all. But Ebony's originally the one that introduced me to music like the bachata, etc. But you have definitely I'm consistently shazamming music every time you play something. You're calling it wrong, Devon. Okay, am I saying it wrong? Correct me. I may be wrong. Am I saying it wrong?
It's bachata and merengue.
Merengue. Okay. See, you see, I didn't say that word again
Bingo.
because I wasn't sure if I said it right the first time. See, Miss
I
Calvin.
wasn't
I
gonna
was
say it again.
purposefully,
You was gonna catch me slipping twice.
I was purposefully not, saying it again because I already knew I probably screwed it up the first time. But thank you so much for calling me out. It's okay. Okay, so you just did number one, right, King? Okay. So that
Yes.
was technically, Miss Tiffany just won our. If we're only doing two questions, if y'all want to keep going, I definitely have some more questions. But Miss Tiffany has 1.5 points, so she is the one that
All
won
the bragging rights.
all of them, all the bragging rights. Am I the only one that can't hear anything? Can everybody let me know? Can y'all hear me? Because if we've done all this and y'all couldn't hear me, I'm be mad. I'm just saying. If we just finished doing all this work, I'm gonna be real
I'm
upset.
still gonna brag that I won, even if Al didn't hear it.
His name's Ali, but that's okay.
Oh,
Al,
I
it
can't. I told you I
doesn't.
can't see the letters. They're small. I told you read it out.
Okay, she said, "I see you tried. See, I appreciate it. I appreciate it." And Randy said he hears me just fine. Praise the Lord. Okay, so we should hopefully be good. Okay, but that was I personally, like I said, I appreciate the fact that doing this gave me a chance to kind of read up on because really since I'll say this since college, since high school, I have not had the need to look up other religions, other cultures, whatever. Just to be honest, so doing this, it really kind of gave me a chance to refresh myself and to kind of get a chance to really learn. I'm around y'all a lot. And it really kind of gave me a chance to learn about other cultures, which I personally feel like is extremely important. And And so, one thing that I want to ask my guests before we leave, because I try to keep this under 30 minutes, so we're getting close to it. What is something about your individual cultures that you would like for other people to know, that you would like for all of our listeners listening to right now? What's something that you would want, whether it's a piece of your culture, you personally, what's something you would like for people to know about your culture that they may not have known? We're gonna start since everybody spoke up at once. We're gonna start, or I'm gonna put it this way, or I'm gonna add another layer to it. What's a difference from living in for those that have lived in their cultural country, whether it's Vietnam, Peru, or Dominican Republic? What's the difference from living there to living here? And I'm gonna start with Miss Emily.
So a difference from living in, well, I never lived in Peru. I'm originally from Florida, but both of my parents are Peruvian. But visiting Peru, I would say the maturity level, how the kids grow up, how mature, like how quickly they mature over there. Over there, it's either you're working or you're going to school at by the age of like 5. When you're like,
Oh wow.
driving in the streets and stuff, you see little kids come up to your car and like try to sell candy or try to sell little bracelets that they made. Or even like on the bus from point A to point B, there's just people constantly getting on, trying to make money, and I'm talking about of like all ages. So I feel like definitely the maturity level of how fast kids grow and how much they value their living is definitely a big difference. Over here, people take a lot of stuff for granted, and over there, it's like everything is definitely appreciated.
It's sad, but you are 100% correct because, especially with everything that's going on, everything being shut down with the currently Corona, the level
Hmm.
of how can I put it? I think people are beginning to have a whole new level of appreciation for things because they can't do certain things now. So the fact that they're having no choice but to deal without the normal things they're used to every day, they have no choice but to realize the level of what's the word I'm looking for, a privilege that they have. And you are 100% correct.
Hmm.
I take my hats off to a lot of other cultures. Y'all really do. Y'all work hard and y'all appreciate a lot of things, right? I can't say that about all of my how can I say that? How can I say this nicely? I'm
Don't
gonna
do
leave
it.
that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm about to come for a couple people's throats. Anyway,
Tiffany's like, don't do
so
it.
Miss Tiffany, what would you want to say?
I mean, about my culture, that we're just like, we're rich in culture. Like we
Mhm.
have like Spaniard, we have Indian, we have African. Like we are in a rainbow of people. Like there's no set standard. You can't just look at somebody and be like, oh, they're definitely Dominican. We're also, for the most part, very humbling, funny, like what is my crafty people. Like we make little stretch for a long way. Like we're very uh inventive people, to put it
That's a cute
politely.
way of saying
And
y'all
like
know how to rig
difference,
stuff.
I've
Y'all know how
never
to rig
really
stuff.
lived in DR, but I've definitely spent the summer in DR, and it makes you appreciate America. Like you got your freedom of
Mhm.
speech. You could not have dinner if you didn't want to. Like, uh Caribbean people don't play, I think, across the board, and Dominican Republic is no exception. I would
Mhm.
not. To vacation, very beautiful place, but I would never live there. I'm too American for that. I got my rights and my freedoms of speech, and kids don't have that there. Like, bro, the whole neighborhood will knock you out. Like,
Oh
and
my
then your parents
god.
will come home and then they'll hit you too. So it's like, nah, I wasn't raised like that. We have,
Well, the
freedoms of
right
rights, and like
neighborhood, you,
you
you can
could
still
you
get
have
that
your
today.
opinions. Yeah, no, it's not for me.
Okay. Well, before I move to Keen, I'm gonna say this one last thing about Miss Tiffany. You're gonna be seeing her a lot on this channel because she's actually one of the people I'm gonna be working with. This woman is hilarious, and I'm trying to convince her to really uh, use her talent to begin to push. Because one of the things with Corona that I think is so huge is that you really have no choice but to have multiple streams of income. And I'm really pushing for her to use her talent. She's extremely funny. I want her to get into comedy. I want her to get into. The woman has me laughing all day. Like I'm usually in pain by the time I leave the presence of this woman. So I'm really trying
We're
to.
gonna get you
You're
that
gonna
six pack, boo. No worries. We're gonna
see.
get that six pack.
Don't play me. It's there. The definition isn't all the way there, but it's
I'm gonna
there.
get it
Don't play
toned.
me.
Don't worry.
The tone. There we go. The tone. But y'all gonna see a lot of this woman because I'm trying to get her confidence up because she's an extremely funny woman. But anyway, Keen, what would you want to say? And we're gonna wrap this up because we're getting close to time. But Keen, what would you want to say?
Okay, so because I just came here like 6 months ago, so I really feel like the cultural differences between two countries. So there is nothing in common. But as far as the cultural thing, I would say that Vietnam is a really amazing country. Like the people are really hardworking, dedicated, and like save for their future. And so one last thing, I want to let everybody know, especially those who don't really know about the Asian like cultures. Vietnam is not China. So because like we are neighbor of China, it doesn't mean that we are really China. So
Mhm.
don't make that mistake. So and that's it for me. And
That
it's
goes
actually
across.
Vietnam is a
Mhm.
yeah, Vietnam is actually like a very great country. You guys should like learn more about it.
I
It's
feel
sad.
like Asians are very proud of their culture and their heritage, very much like Spanish people. Like we don't want to be mixed and we don't want to be, lose our identity. And I feel like that's very true about Asians as well because he's saying we're not China. Um,
Mhm.
Koreans are like we're not Chinese. Like I feel like here on this side of the earth, we're just like, oh yeah, Asians, they're all Chinese, but like they're very different cultures and they're very beautiful in their own way, actually.
Mhm.
From what I've
Yes,
seen, but
correct.
thanks, Keen, because yeah, nobody. I don't know. Nobody wants to be Chinese. Everybody's like, well, we're not Chinese. We're not Chinese. We're not Chinese.
Wait a minute. I don't think you could say it quite that way. Not nobody wants to be Chinese. Everybody just has their own culture.
Okay, I feel like that's appropriate. Let's edit that. My bad. Let's call it that everybody wants to be identified as their own culture. Like,
There we
and
go.
Keen
Everybody
is
wants.
my favorite Vietnamese person too.
And
Thank you,
Yuli King,
Mika.
you got a
Thanks.
fan. So,
Two.
but
Thank you.
but like I said, that's one of the reasons, specifically for what you said, King. The fact that obviously you being Vietnamese, and I once again have to fully, literally, I started off saying exactly what you just said. I started off calling you Vietnamese, which what? No, wait a minute. Yeah, I started
Korean.
off calling you
Korean.
Korean. Totally wrong, and that's unfortunately something that a lot of people here do because they group a lot of people together, which everybody has their own culture, everybody has their own, everybody's different. Everybody has their own, and they are loving y'all in the comment section. I'm only popping up a couple because we're having conversations and whatnot. But Randy loves you. Ali said, "Hold on a second. I love the fact that you highlighted that, Tiffany. It's like classify all black people African American. Exactly. Like we're all everybody is different. And hold on a second, you have a fan as well, Emily. We're not gonna leave you out. You're somebody's favorite Peruvian as well. And but anyway, I'm gonna say this to wrap up. But either way, like I said, what I mainly wanted to say is I wanted to have this and have different people on here because you all are different. Each of you have very rich cultures that I feel like as society here in the United States we take advantage of. And I feel like right now a lot of things are being done in this country to divide people, to make things divisive, where people aren't focusing on the fact that uh, we are a melting pot of all types of people and everybody deserves to be respected. And just because we may have differences or whatever doesn't mean we can't live in harmony, doesn't mean we can't make continue to make this country a great country because it's built off of people who are Peruvian, Dominican, Vietnamese, all coming together to make America what it is today. So that's why I wanted to have everybody up here today, because I feel like that's something that's important, that we continue to learn ourselves, we continue to learn about other cultures. Because first of all, nobody within a couple years, nobody's gonna be one race anyway. Like you don't have too many people that are just one nationality anyway. I got a little bit of Cherokee in me. I know most black people say they got Cherokee in them, but I promise you, I have full blown Cherokees. Like when they show up to the family reunion, I was confused, I wasn't ready, but hey, it's there, and I loved it. But I'm gonna answer. So we have one question, and then we gotta go because we're over my time limit. But someone wants to ask you a question, Tiffany. She said, Tiffany, do you find yourself socializing with people very well outside your country?
Yeah, I socialize better usually with people that are not Dominican. No offense to Dominicans, but like I get along way better with other cultures. And I know my friends are gonna like blow me up later, but I promise I like everyone and dislike people all around equally. It's all fair game.
Ebony said everybody's gonna look like me soon. She's mixed, so yes, everybody, we all gonna be, just a whole lot of shades going on. Okay. But anyway, I definitely want to thank all of my guests for coming up here. I appreciate you all being willing to come up here. I know y'all have never done anything like this. Y'all were willing to get up here, answer questions. Y'all had no clue what I was going to do. I kind of gave y'all a
I
little
was
bit of a
so scared.
rundown, but I appreciate the fact that you got up here. You got up here, talked about your cultures, talked about you, had a little fun in the process. You're definitely going to see these faces again. Like I said, I only have 30 minutes. I try to keep it under 30 minutes, so we can only cover but so much. But y'all are going to see these faces again. We're going to get Ken loves to cook, so we'll get into cooking with Ken. Miss Emily is forever having me try different things that I've never heard of in my entire life. She had me eat some pea stuff the other day. We're going to get to cooking with her as well. And then Tiffany just stupid. So we just going to, she gonna
I'm
have her
just
own
a jack of all trades.
that part. Like she cooks, she funnies out know what, so she gonna have her own segment. I'm working on it, but y'all gonna see these faces again. I once again I want to thank y'all so much for coming up here, and thank everybody for tuning in as well. Definitely share this because once again my whole purpose for doing this is introducing people to different cultures and whatnot. And I feel like it's extremely important, especially with where we are right now in the country. So make sure you follow this page, Devon Not Devin. You'll be seeing segments like this every Sunday, 8 o'clock, unless my schedule changes and we might have to push it back a little bit. But hey, it's gonna be 8 o'clock until right now. But here to have fun, introduce different people to have fun and whatnot. So thank you guys so much for coming on, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Can We Talk.